guest who does not have to be on here. I haven't started paying my guests yet. So since folks is coming here on their own free will, on their own free time, let's be respectful. Yeah, all that good stuff. So anybody says something crazy, you will get blocked, or you'll just get ignored. Just get ignored. Either blocked or ignored. Anyway, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for coming on, dude. I low-key thought you was about to stand me up on the live.
Nah. Nah.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for making it last minute. What part of the country are you in?
I'm in Texas.
Okay, cool.
Texas, yeah.
Okay.
Dallas, Texas, nearby.
Bro, I was just in Dallas 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Whatever week was the week leading up to New Year's, I was in Dallas.
You like it over here?
I was only there. I was supposed to be there for about 3 days, but I was there for about a day, and then I changed my flight. And it wasn't because I wasn't having a good time. It was just because I got invited to New York for something, and I was like, "Oh, bet!" So I went to New York. I was gonna stay in New York for New Year's Eve. I literally left New York New Year's Eve day just to come back to Atlanta. So I wasn't feeling good. But I got a Rolex while I was out in Dallas. That was my main mission for being out in Dallas, buying a Rolex from my homeboy.
Hey, that boy balling.
Hey man, look, Rolexes are doing pretty good right now when it comes to when it comes to putting your money in something. They're doing better than gold, doing better than the real estate market, all of that. Yeah, definitely a little bit of a little bit of balling. That's also good investment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. So I see recruiter cousin in here, y'all. Shanae, y'all check her out. She's a technical recruiter with Microsoft, and she's been recently using her brand. Well, she's been using her brand to give people tips and information, but she's now been transitioning from LinkedIn to also her own Instagram page, giving different interview tips, all that good stuff. Yeah. Somebody asked you to turn the light on. Yeah, true. Can you put a light on?
Hold on. Hold on.
Put a light on that's in front of you so it'll be good lighting. It's probably somebody want to know what he look like. They're like, no, put the light on him. We're trying to see what he look like.
All right. Is that better? Is that better? All right.
Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is. All right, bro. So, man, so I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know your name based off of your IG handle. So if you could just introduce yourself really quickly.
Yes, Abdiel Beckford. I'm from Panama. Yeah, Latino. Yeah, people always mispronounce it, but yeah, Abdiel.
Okay, cool. Is there a way? I don't know if you have anything. I should have sent this to you in the DM. But is there a way for you to either set your phone up or prop your phone up or put it on something so that way you can kind of be hands free? We can kind of chop it up.
Hold on. Let me see.
My bad. Usually I send all that stuff over, but I just was not thinking.
All right, right there.
Man, there we go. Yeah, bro. So I will give like a light description of what I know about you and who you are. And then I would love for you to kind of expound more on who you are. So I try not to go too in depth with asking people 1,000 questions before bringing them on my live. The reason why is because I like stuff to be very organic. You know, the only things I like to know generally about, you know, people is like, hey, what boot camp did you do? You know, usually I'll talk to them about like what kind of salary they got just to kind of navigate, you know, if it's like a good deal or what they should do next. But other than that, I try not to go too in depth because I like the conversation to be organic and real and not something where it's like, we've already had this conversation and now I'm just kind of faking like it's my first time hearing stuff. So anyway, so my guest that I have on tonight, some months ago, I can't remember how many months ago, it's probably like what, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, at some point he did a tech boot camp. And I can't remember if you reached out to me before you did the boot camp or after, during like your interviewing or after you got a job. But what I do remember is that I remember the last time he had tapped in with me, he was basically saying like, hey, I got a job. He told me the offer that he got, and he told me the way that the company kind of structures their raises and stuff. Because it was something like, it was something, I'm not gonna say what the number was, but it was basically a number where, in my opinion, I was like, bro, you could have low-key got more than that out the gate.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I always say the number one thing is getting in the door in this industry. That's the number one thing. So some people go to the opposite extreme, where some people are like, they'll reject really good offers because they're just stuck on getting something over $100,000. But it's like the most important thing at the end of the day is really just getting in the door, with something that's decent. And it was a decent offer. It was a decent offer, especially the way that they scale the pay at his company. But yeah, bro, would love for you to just introduce yourself really quickly, and then we'll just jump into it, just chopping it up organically.
All right. Wait, so you want me to like go into my experience, or?
Yeah, well, yeah, just introduce yourself, like your name, how old you are, and what you do in tech, like what your title is.
Okay. Yes, my name is Abdiel Beckford, and I'm a sales development representative, and I actually just turned 20. So
something told me your birthday just passed. I don't even know why, but something told me that. Yeah, but anyway, bro, happy belated.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. When did you turn 20?
September. Yeah,
we actually talked. Not just turned 20.
But we had talked recently. Well, we had talked I think 2 months prior to that, though.
Dang, was it that long ago, bro? That's so crazy how time just moves.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm thinking the last time, not the last time, but I'm thinking the last time we had touched basis on you getting the offer and everything. I thought it was back in October, but dang, you said it was 2 months before September. That's wild. Okay, well, that's even better. That means you've been in your position for a minute then.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little minute, like enough to be like, you've been working, you've been doing stuff. I'm sure you're out of training and things like that. So that's super dope. So that's fire. So at that point, I guess so when exactly did you start at your company?
I think I started the day after my birthday. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
But that's low-key a crazy birthday gift for yourself, or something to really celebrate.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like a 2-week training, but then it was pretty cool. Yeah, good birthday gift.
That's super lit, super lit. So let's backtrack, because we kind of jumped ahead. So let's backtrack. So you did the tech sales bootcamp. For anybody that's asking or wondering, it's the one that's pinned there in the comment. But you did the tech sales bootcamp. How did you find out about the tech sales bootcamp, and also what led you to trust it and be like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and do this?
Yeah, I actually saw it through you. So I heard your story, and I was pretty inspired. You know what I'm saying? Like how you kind of came from nothing to something, and and I was, I been done with high school for a minute, and I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I had interests of real estate, and also going to school for engineering. So then I saw tech sales, or you did sales engineering, but you were promoting this tech sales. So I did the free course, and I saw everything that was necessary. And I was like, oh, I think this could fit my personality. I think I'd be really good at this. And it's a lot more affordable option than going to college. Because, you have to go to 4 years, and then people go to college and then they end up not even doing what they wanted to do at first.
Exactly.
So I was like, so I mean, this was such a great start, because, it was only $500. Yeah. And then, I get a career started.
Don't tell me you ain't used the discount code.
Oh yeah, I used that. I used it.
Okay, cool. All right, bet. Wanted to make sure. Yeah, because some people were literally just asking. So yeah, y'all, the boot camp right now. I always say right now, or last time I checked, because I'm not able to keep up with it all the time. Last time I checked it, when he did it, the boot camp was $500. For people like myself, and also people that have done the boot camp, like him, they give people, basically you can offer a discount to your friends and family that'll give people like $50 off or whatever. And that also gives whoever recommends it, whoever basically gives you a discount, it also gives them a kickback as well. So they get like a kickback from the boot camp, like an affiliate kickback type of thing. So we're gonna jump into all those questions in terms of if he works remote, in terms of like what type of company, stuff like that, whatever he's comfortable with sharing. We'll jump into all of that. But yeah, with the discount code, it is $449, $450, $449, something like that. Yeah, so pretty good boot camp, and it's self-paced as well. So speaking of, since it's self-paced, how long did it take you to finish it?
It just took me right over a month, probably like a month and a few days.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, bet. Yeah, so yeah, you talking about you were looking around and a lot of your peers and people were in college, and it's like, dang, they got to spend 4 years to, 4 years to get a degree that they probably won't even do anything with. And it's like for you to go from not 4 years, not 4 months, but like 4 weeks and some change. Yeah. That's super crazy. That's super crazy. All right, so when you finish the course, well, I guess first, it's weird. There's always new people popping in the live. So some things are important to still share. Like, how was the course for you? Like, was it hard? Like, was it challenging? Like, where would you kind of rate it?
I would definitely say it's not challenging, but I don't want people to get the wrong picture. Like, oh, it's just easy to get a job. Like, you got to make sure that actually like fits who you are. Like, if you're not good at talking, or you're not comfortable talking to random people, or like, you still have to put the work in to be good. So like the course is easy, it's self-paced, so you can honestly finish it like a few weeks into a month. But yeah, it teaches you a lot, but you just got to ask yourself the question, can you see yourself making like $50 to $100 a day, talking to business people, trying to convince them, sending emails every day? Because it can get exhausting. So it's not really challenging, like, oh, this is so hard to learn, but you just got to make sure that it fits who you are and what you want to do.
Yeah. No, that's super real. That's super real. Now that is really important, because some people, like, I think there's almost like 3 different types of people. Like, there are people who need to love what they do. Like, it's like they have to love it. Mm-hmm. Then there are people that are on the other extreme where they don't care what they're doing. It's like, yo, as long as I'm getting paid good, I don't care what I'm doing. And then there are people that are kind of in the middle, where it's like even if they don't, like, it needs to kind of fit them a little bit. They don't necessarily have to love it, but they can't hate it, type of thing. Yeah. And so I definitely think I'm kind of in the middle with that. Would you say like you're the type where you don't care, like you can hate it, but you still get the money? Or are you like in the middle, or are you like on the other side where you have to love it?
Yeah, I don't think you should always like have to love what you do, because like, I think you put a post out today where it's like you respond to a comment where your work you should get money so you can get to love like what you do in like regular life.
Your real life,
yeah. So I would say I'm in the middle. Like, I like what I do. Like, I get excited when I'm like booking meetings and stuff like that. But it can sometimes get kind of like exhausting doing the same thing every day. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like when the check comes, that gets you happy. So yeah.
Yeah, that's super lit, bro. So you being 19, what was your family? I guess, did you even talk to your family about it when you told them what you're about to do? Like, what was everybody's reaction? You were like, yo, I'm about to do this self-paced like tech thing. Like, what was their reaction?
Oh, initially it was like, why not just go to college? Because like, I don't blame them for that, because that's just like the route that everyone's been taught, like college to be successful. Which I don't knock college, but it's just not meant for everybody. Yeah. So, after I got my offer and I told like some of my family, they were like, whoa, like, they were excited for me. So
yeah, bro, that's super fire. I bet after that they was kind of low key like, what, it might be good you ain't going to college.
Yeah,
bro.
Sure.
Especially how fast you're gonna scale in this industry in terms of your income. It's like, you know what's wild? And again, I'm with you. I crack a lot of jokes on college just for content, but in reality, there's benefit to college. There are certain things you have to go to college to do.
Yeah.
And also there's benefit to college in terms of like networking, like building your network, things like that. Obviously, you'll be able to do the same thing with like different tech networking events, you building relationships. But what's wild is that by the time all of your like peers or people you went to high school with, by the time they get out of college with their 4-year degrees, bro, you're gonna be like at least over like $150,000. Like you gonna be making so much money, it's gonna be crazy, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, that just gonna be wild, man.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
And bro, you definitely gonna get there, dude. Definitely gonna get there. And obviously, I know you're already in tech now. You're good. But and this is a sidebar. We can talk about this more on the back end. But definitely, like, hit me up if you need some quick advice on something, you know, or anything, like straight up. So, no, bro, I love it. I love it. All right, so you finished the boot camp. How long did it take you after you finished the boot camp to get a job? And what was that process like? So one, how long did it take you before you got your offer letter? Because I know you said you started the day after your birthday, but how long was it before you got an offer? And what was that applying and interview process like for you?
Well, I got multiple offers. I'll say my first one came it came like a week after I got finished. Yeah, so but I would say it probably took me like a month a month and a half to 2 months to finally settle down. Because, you know, the interview process, I was nervous at first, but you honestly don't have to be nervous. Like, the more natural you are, and, like, if you know, like, if you studied and you know, like, you don't need to be like, oh, I need to know exactly how to answer. You just got to be natural and, like, have a good personality. Because if the manager sees that you're just, like, you know, you have no personality, you're just, like, basically like a robot, it don't matter what you know.
They don't like that.
Yeah, but you also want to make sure you know what, like, you're not just going into interviews. You got to be confident, and you got to like know, like, they can see they know what you're doing. So yeah, I had a few. I would say I probably had like five offers, 5 interviews.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah,
you had 5 offers.
Yeah,
bro, that's insane, bro. I'm not even gonna cap. Like, I don't know anybody that I know about. Everyone that I've talked to and everyone that I know that's done a boot camp and broke into tech, I don't know anyone that's gotten 5 offers. I think I got 3. One was whack, so I don't really count it. And two. So really, it was only really 2. And so, bro, the fact you got 5 offers, that's crazy. And I definitely didn't get an offer a week after I finished the boot camp. Like, that jump took me, I mean, it only took me 2 months. 2 months isn't a ridiculous amount of time, but compared to you, 2 months is a really long time, bro. That's crazy. You got your joint just a week later.
Yeah. But yeah, it does. Everybody is different, but you just got to be patient, and then you also have to make sure you're applying, because LinkedIn, they're posting every day. So, like, you got to make sure you're applying and, like, put time into your applications. Don't just, like, send out an application. But yeah, it should come, because people are looking, like, actively looking for people that are good at, you know, being a salesperson. So
yeah. Nah, bro, I love, like, your mentality, and I appreciate you saying that because it's really easy that because it took you a week, it would be really easy for you to say, like, oh man, it can happen this way for everybody, but for you to be humble enough to be like, yo, like, that's not everybody's story, you know. And that's a very truthful thing. There are definitely some people where it's taken like months. You know, I think I've seen someone, the longest I've seen someone who did the boot camp, and they were actually putting in some kind of work before they got a job. I think it was like 5 or 6 months, specifically the one that you did. And so, nah, bro, that's very real. That's super real. But yeah, one of the things that you said that I love is you talking about, like, yo, you putting the work in, like, you actually applying, because every single day there are new companies putting their jobs postings on LinkedIn and on other platforms. So that's super important for people to make sure that they're continuing to put in that work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's super good, bro. I love that. So all right, so if you have 5 companies sliding in your LinkedIn DMs. No. So you have 5 companies that basically wanted to hire you. what made you choose the company that you're at instead of the other ones?
Well, first off, 3 of them were actually in office, and then 2 of them were remote. So I was definitely leaning towards the remote side. And then I think the other thing I considered was just like how, like, the environment basically. And I kind of got that vibe by interviewing with the manager, and I also got to talk with some of the workers.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted like an environment. Like, I asked like some of the people that work there like honest questions, like, be straight up. How is it actually working here?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And then like the manager, I really liked his vibe. So I went with the company that, was remote, and also I liked the environment a lot.
Yeah. Bro, that's fire. Bro, something I've noticed between you and there was another dude who I interviewed recently. Probably I brought him on live recently, I think 2 weeks ago or 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's maybe a year older than you. Like, y'all are like, well, no, y'all are the same age now as both of y'all are 20. What's wild is that the similarity that I noticed with both of y'all is that even though y'all are young, both of y'all have like a very kind of go-getter mentality. Both of y'all have like a very like humble, but also like understands, all right, what it's going to take type of mentality, but also has like just a well-rounded perspective. And I love to see that because like even myself, like I've had people ask me about like people that are like around your age, them getting into this industry, and I'll say like, yeah, no, there are people that are younger to get into this industry. But I know the real question sometimes people are asking isn't just the age thing, but it's like, okay, like if somebody who maybe they don't have good work ethic or they just want stuff handed to them, that's the generality that people make about people that are your age. Like when I was your age, it was the same thing. The older generations always say, oh, the next generation, y'all are lazy, y'all are this, y'all are that. Yeah. But the thing that I think I've seen is that people who I've seen that are around your age that are getting in this industry, it's like y'all aren't necessarily just being handed these jobs. Y'all are like you're working for it. You're not putting all of it on the boot camp. You're doing the boot camp, but you're also like going out there and doing your part to make sure you get the job too.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I agree. Yeah.
Man. Big respect to you. I know I've already told you congratulations a couple times, but no, that's super dope. So, all right. So the company, they got you remote. Now, this is something I talk about all the time in my live, but there's always new people popping up. So if you could kind of share some of the benefits and perks that your company has given you, that maybe you're not used to. Have you ever like worked a job before? Like, what kind of job have you actually had before in the past?
Worked at like non-sales jobs like Walmart, Discount Tire, Amazon. Did like door-to-door canvassing for like doing like opinions or people's but yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, you said that's basically it, bro. You named like 6 things. That's basically it.
Yeah.
This man named 6 different types of jobs and careers and say, that's basically it. No, that's actually crazy. So all right, so you did a lot, but none of those things obviously were like what it is that you're doing now. Yeah. So you made that transition into tech. So what are some of the benefits and perks that your company is giving you or that you've seen? Because you talked to other companies, so I'm sure you saw the benefits they were offering. Maybe you interviewed with them and they told you to offer. So what are some of the benefits and perks that you've seen with your company or the other companies you interview with that maybe aren't normal to most other people?
I would say the biggest one is unlimited PTO, and like they actually mean that. Like, of course you can't just abuse it. Like, oh, let me get 3 months off.
Wait, first you gotta explain, because some people don't know, bro. The fog here is getting crazy. I can't even see none of the city buildings. Anyway, some people don't even know what unlimited PTO is. So can you explain what unlimited PTO means?
It basically means like you can ask for any day off and it'll be like paid for. So it's like unlimited. Like you don't have like a set, like you can't abuse it necessarily, but if you need to tell your manager like, hey, I need these days off, like he's most likely, he's going to give it to you.
Yeah. Bro, that's super lit. Have you taken advantage of that at all?
Just like once or twice, because I've actually been working, so but yeah, whenever I need it, it's never been like a problem, like no question, like oh yeah, just accept it right away.
Can I tell you a secret as to why some companies do unlimited PT, like why it was created and why other companies started doing it?
Yeah, what's up?
All
What's
right.
up? What's up?
So Netflix was the company that started the dude who founded Netflix. He was the one that came out with the idea of unlimited PTO. And
Okay.
the data that they realized was that when you give employees unlimited PTO versus when you give employees a 2 or 3 week vacation, the data actually shows most people don't take 2 to 3 weeks off a year. Like they actually take less off a year. And so once that data was proven, other tech companies were like, okay, cool. So let's start giving everybody unlimited PTO because they're expecting people aren't gonna like fully take advantage of. Now, obviously, your manager and supervisors, they don't know. That's why it was created. So it's not like some like whole conspiracy thing, but Netflix started it, and a lot of the industry has been adopting it. Where they're like, yeah, we're gonna give unlimited PTO. They also offer it because they want to be competitive. Because now it's a thing where if one tech company doesn't offer it and another one does, tech companies know, okay, we might lose out to this person, to another tech company, if we don't offer unlimited PTO. So some companies offer it for that reason, but it was originally created because they had done studies and they showed that if you pay people well enough, like you pay people really good, you give them a good work culture, you're not stressing them out. If you give them unlimited PTO, most people aren't going to use it a lot, and they'll end up using it less than they would if they worked at a company that didn't have unlimited PTO but gave you a 2-week vacation. Most people take that 2-week or 1-week vacation when they don't have unlimited PTO. So anyway, I say all that to say, one, I say it just to kind of share some random information. But the second reason I share it is just to say, I love that you said don't abuse it. I agree with that 100%. But also don't play yourself. Definitely use that junk. Like you're not gonna get in trouble for using it. But also at least think about it enough to be like, okay, at least 2 days every month I'm gonna take off. Like, a couple days in a month I'm gonna take off. Obviously, you're in tech sales, so you want to pace it out because you don't want to mess your other money up that you can get from like deals. But just kind of pace it out and stuff for yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bro. So that's super good. All right, so you shared something with me in the DMs about your company where you said that like your company does this thing where after 6 months they give you a pay bump, like a pay bump. Or can you like explain that?
Yes. So believe after 6 months of like consistently hitting quota, you get like a pay bump, and then after a year of consistently hitting pay bump, you'll get a account executive position.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's a pay bump as well.
Oh, that's a real nice pay bump. So for those who don't know what an account executive is the promotion above an SDR or a BDR role. And yeah, once you're an account executive, bro, your LinkedIn DMs are gonna go through the roof. You gonna have companies coming left and right, like they're gonna be coming left and right. Yeah. The same way some girls will be coming left and right when they realize, you getting that tech bag.
I'm dead.
Nah, bro, that's super cool though, dude. So I guess what are your plans right now? Like, are your plans to become an account executive at this company? Do you plan on staying at the company long term? Like, what are kind of your thoughts right now?
Yeah, I would definitely want to become an account executive, but definitely keeping my options open. Like I've still been applying. Like I don't even though I don't plan on like moving, like I want to move I'm not like unsatisfied.
Yeah.
But I am always looking for opportunity to earn more money or even a better opportunity. So like I'm currently in talks with like another company. So it's like I'm still keeping myself open to other opportunities.
Yeah, no, that's super good. No, you definitely got to keep your options open. Just like you said, even if you're not planning on leaving your company anytime soon, it's always good to still be talking to other companies, just so you're seeing what else is out there, just so you're kind of nurturing those relationships. And also, a friend of mine told me this when I first got into tech. Actually, this girl who was working at my first tech company, she had told me that if you don't talk to other companies and you're not applying and you're not like periodically interviewing, she said you can actually make your interviewing skills really rusty. So she's like, so it's good for you to like keep up your ability to interview well and to talk to recruiters and kind of keep that muscle pretty strong. And then like a month or 2 months after she told me that, she left to go to another company. She got a really big pay bump. And then like a week after she left, I actually left too, and got like a really huge pay bump. So it was pretty dope. So yeah, bro. So have you so you've been in the industry? So you started. When was that? Was that
September?
September.
Yeah.
September, October, November, December, January. All right. So you've been in the industry for what? 4 months, going on 5 months now.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. All right. So you've been in for 4 to 5 months. Have you been to any tech events yet?
We actually have one coming up in February. They're gonna take us out to LA.
Oh, your company is taking y'all to LA.
Yeah.
Oh,
For like a conference. Yeah.
that's lit.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
So all right, so y'all going out to LA. Is this a trip where you probably aren't going to be working that much, or what?
No, we're not really gonna be working. It's kind of like we're gonna have workshops where we're gonna be teaching us stuff or have people speak to us, and then learn from the higher ups more about the company and like the plans, etc.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nah, bro, that's super dope. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So outside of the upcoming company event, have you been to any other like just tech networking events and stuff?
No, I have times.
My bad, you cut out. You said you what?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, I haven't been in person, but sometimes on LinkedIn I see like they have a virtual. I've done that, but none in person.
Bro, you know what's crazy? Because you're in Dallas, bro. I'm sure you know about Afrotech, right?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Dang, bro. Afrotech just happened, and it was in Austin, and it was 2 months ago. Bruh, that jump was stupid. It was crazy. Bro. Dang, dude, that jump was actually pretty insane. I'm kind of mad you missed it, but it's gonna be other tech events. Just to list a few different tech events that people should check out. Just a few off the top of my head. There's Render, ATL. There's obviously Afrotech. There is Black Men in Tech. There's Black is Tech. And then there's one in LA. You said the event that your company is that y'all are going to. Did you say it's in LA?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I doubt it's the same event because I think your event is like your company is hosting the event.
Yeah.
There's another event in LA, a tech event called it's something urban, some urban tech event. I have to like look up the name. But anyway, my team and I, we're about to create an email list. We're about to like accept the email list where every week we update everybody on all the tech events. We update everybody on all the tech companies that are hiring. We kind of like give everybody all the updates of things that matter. But bro, definitely, bro, whenever you can tap in, like, yeah, the online tech events are dope, but bro, definitely try to tap in at some point with those in-person tech events. The reason why is because it's dope that you're in the industry and that you're talking to companies on LinkedIn. But bro, the real money is when you build a network of people that you've met in person. Even if it's not to get a job, you just have a dope network of tech recruiters, hiring managers, people that are at a variety of companies where they meet you in person, they vibe with you in person. Because from there, it's basically money. From there, if your company ever like goes under, or if you ever just want to like transition, you could like hit people up and be like, yo, I'm trying to come over to your company. They'll be like, all right, bet, I got you. I'll put a word in for you. I'm gonna set you up on an interview with somebody. And it's like straight up.
So
Yeah, I've bombed interviews with companies where I bombed the interviews so bad where everybody like that was on the hiring team, the interview team were like, yeah, that wasn't what we were expecting. And I still got hired because I had met their boss at a tech event, and their boss was like, I don't care how bad he did on the interview, still hire him. We want him.
Oh,
and
wow.
it just did, bro. The power of like tech networking events, bro, is insane, dude.
Yeah. So are these events, is it like, how does it look like exactly? Is it like people have booths and you just kind of like go up to there, or like,
Yeah, so it's a variety. So there's booths. So first off, it's like it'll be like either at a hotel, or it'll be like at a conference hall, like a big conference hall somewhere. And yeah, depending on the size of the tech event is usually what determines that. But yeah, there will be booths, and the booths will be different tech companies. So you'll know which company is there. Like you'll see, depending on the tech event you go to, you'll see the who's of tech companies. Like at Afrotech, Tesla was there, Amazon was there, Facebook, Microsoft. You know, I mean, bro, any company. There were companies that were there that you wouldn't even think was a tech company. Like Gap was there. Like the clothing brand Gap was there. And you walk up and you like, what in the world? What y'all doing at a tech event? And then you come to find out, Gap is like, oh, we actually have, like, our foundation is tech. Like, we actually have a lot of tech, and we hire people that are in tech. And so, bro, so depending on the size and the scale of the event, bro, it's like a buffet of tech events. And you go there, talk to everybody, it's stupid. And then also at the tech events, it's a big party. You know, it's like a lot of turning up. It's just, you know, you vibing. There's a lot of after parties, especially if you go to a tech event. It's like more than one day. They always partner with different like lounges and bars and restaurants. So every night there's like after parties and stuff. And I mean, and like people are really turning up. Like you'll be turning up with the recruiters and senior people at tech companies, like really building organic relationship, not some weird corporate thing. And that being said, you also don't show up wearing a suit or nothing like that. I mean, unless that's your style and you like to dress like that, but really you show up. Like, bro, I've been in tech events literally dressed like this. Like having chains on, all that stuff, walk around, dapping folk up. And it's just, it's vibes. Because the recruiters and hiring managers that are there, they're there to have a good time too. Because even though they're there working, they're like, bro, they get, you know, they're getting their drink on, they're vibing with people, they're having a good time, they're relaxed, they're, you know, all that stuff. So it's like, just like you mentioned in the interview, it's kind of that same energy. It's like, yeah, you know, be professional, know your stuff, but also be relaxed, be cool, be relatable, just be a good time. It's the same way, but even more at tech networking events, bro. So definitely tap in, because worst case scenario, you're gonna have a good time. Like it's not some corny boring conference thing. It's like, bro, I look for tech networking events like hard so I can go to them, and I buy tickets real quick just to go, just to turn up and just to meet people. It's definitely dope.
All right, I'll make sure to pop out to one. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, man, do that, dude. Do that, man. Yeah, bro. So, all right. So we talked a bit about your story. We talked a bit about, you know, some of the things that your company offered you and why you chose your company over the other. I know that like your plan, your goal is to transition over to an account executive, and you're probably about 6 to 7 months away from that happening, which that's going to be really dope. That's going to open doors for you like crazy. Your income's going to jump like crazy, and you're going to get offers from companies that are going to be like really, really huge, bro. Your life is going to be stupid. You know, a quick sidebar before we kind of transition, bro. I had a dude on my podcast recently. The episode hasn't dropped yet, but he was on my podcast, and he's been in tech for like 10 years, like 9 or 10 years or something like that. And he said something to me, bro. This actually messed my head up. He was saying, like, one of the things he wanted to talk about, he brought up on the podcast, and the episode's gonna drop in a couple weeks. He was saying how we make more money than NBA players. And I was like, what? And he broke it down. He was like, well, look, he was like, you know, if you're in this industry, he's like, you know, you scale to, you know, $300,000, $400,000. He's like, you know, you scale to that. He said it'll probably take you 5 to maybe, you know, 7, 8 years to scale to that. If you're networking, if you're doing all the stuff you need to do, if you're really on top of it. He's like, all right, so you scale to, you know, $250,000 to $400,000. He was like, you look up the average NBA player, they're only playing ball for 3.5 years. And that's actually the average time. The average NBA player plays for only 3 to 3.5 years. It's just, we only look at the people that like last, the legends. But the average NBA player, he was like, yeah, they only play for, 3.5 years. He was like, and they get a contract. Their contracts are, the average is like, I think $1 to $2 million is the average NBA contract actually. He's like, but that's for 4 years of playing. So you really do the math, you break it up. That means every year they're getting anywhere between about $350 to $500,000 a year for 4 years. And then it equals up to maybe 2 million tops. He was like, you work in tech. He was like, it's not a contract. Like, you're in this industry. Yeah. He's like, bro, you will get the same amount they're making annually, but you're making that for 10, 20 years of your life. He's like, we get paid more than ball players. Bro, that jump messed my head up. I was like, oh my God, that's fact. I mean, obviously that doesn't speak on like if any of them get brand deals, but most of them that get brand deals are like the big dogs anyway. Yeah. So that jump was actually crazy to me. So anyway, I say that because I'm always so hyped whenever I'm talking to someone like yourself that's, I ain't trying to sun you or nothing like that. Like you're way further ahead than where I was at when I was your age. And I'm sure there are even things now you could teach me or put me on. But I just wanted to share that just to like really kind of just to re-hype you up in terms of like, bro, you gonna be making more than a ball player. Yeah. Like straight up. And that's so cool because it's like the fact that we don't have to play sports or don't have to rap or don't have to do this or don't have to do that. It's like if we want to do those things, we can do it on the side. But it's like financially, like, bro, the way your life is going to be set up, like, bro, by the time you're my age, you're going to be making way more than I'm making right now. And it's going to be insane for you, dude. Like, insane. Bro, so I'm real hyped for you, like, for real, man.
I appreciate that. Sure.
Yeah, bro. So, anyway, super sidebar. But off of that, so we talked about a few different things in terms of your story. Would love to like just let you share like what are some experiences, either experiences you've had or something that's different about the industry, either good or bad, or something that you want to share with people that you're like, yo, like you think people should be aware of or that they should kind of prepare for if they want to get into the industry.
Well, I would just say like tech is now, like, tech is definitely like the field to get into. Like everything is becoming tech. So you want to like hop on the wave now, and it's not something that's hard to get into. Like you may think you need to go off to college, but you need to understand that like you have to make, everything is an investment. So why not invest yourself in an industry where it may just take you at most like 6 months, maybe even a year, which is a lot less than 4 years at college or anything else, and invest maybe $500, other boot camps maybe just a few $1,000s, but then you get like the whole career like that's set for life. Like the thing I love about the tech field, like you can only go up. Like you can't really stay complacent. Like after a year, like if your income is not going up, like you're probably doing something wrong. So that I'll definitely recommend this field for anybody, because there's always something you can do. Like maybe your thing is not sales, maybe it could be like engineering, or they have hundreds of things in tech that you can get into. So I would definitely recommend this for anybody just trying to look for a new career field, or just wanting to get started. I'll definitely say this is like the best start. But yeah, that's all I'll say.
Yeah, bro, thanks for sharing that, man. No, that's super good. No, but that's so real. Because yeah, like you said, everything is definitely becoming tech if it's not already tech. And so that's the whole reason I like to tell people about this industry, whether or not they do a boot camp or if they go to college or if they find a way to like, use their transferable skills, or even if people don't want to be in tech, it's like at least be aware of this industry and know what's happening to the world right now. So that way, like, we're not caught off guard, even with everything that's starting to happen with AI and robotics, and it's like stuff is happening that's about to shift everything. So it's super dope. Super dope for you to share that. I'm typing down a question and I saw somebody ask, and I literally almost just dropped my laptop. That was better to be, someone asked a question and I thought it was a pretty good question, so I wanted to put it down. So next part, we're gonna transition into a bit of a Q&A with everyone. So I have a list of questions that people pre-submitted. We'll go through some of these. We're gonna go through all of these first, and then we will address questions that people put in the comment section. So y'all get ready to put your questions in the comment section. Don't put them down yet, because we're gonna miss them. Yeah, we'll most likely miss them because we're gonna address these questions first. Better to be at. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go straight through it. All right, bro. So let me know. So I'll ask the question. Some of these questions are questions you might or might not know the answer to. If it's something you're like, you could say pass, you like pass it to you type of thing. And I might, even if you answer a question, I might piggyback and share something else, or we'll move on to the next question. All right, so but these are questions that people pre-submitted. All right, so first question. All right, actually the first question, we're not gonna answer. The first question someone asked, what are the steps with getting into tech? What is the work-life balance? Bunch of different questions that people ask, and I'm like, we're not gonna answer that because I already have FAQs that answer some of the generic stuff that y'all are asking. And also this interview, like his story answered a lot of those questions as well. So if anybody has a question that he and I might not answer, even if it comes up in the comments and we're kind of like, yeah, we already touched on that with his story, we'll just encourage you to rewatch his interview. So next question, or first actual question, what is your opinion on Web3? Well, I guess first off, what do you know about Web3? Because some people will be like, what is Web3? What do you know about Web3? And what is your opinion of Web3?
Yo, for everybody who is listening and you're thinking that you're interested in a career in tech sales, I suggest you check out CourseCareers. CourseCareers is a tech boot camp that you can do entirely from home. It's entirely virtual and it's self-paced. So that means you can knock it out in as early as 2 weeks or even take a few months if you need to. Now, the really cool thing about CourseCareers is that they're actually partnered with multiple tech companies that are hiring their students right after finishing the program. The great thing about CourseCareers is that with those partnerships, they're able to guarantee you jobs with some of their partner companies. Now, beyond that alone, the other cool thing we want to tell you about them is that CourseCareers is actually only $500. That's it, nothing more, nothing less. But since we partner with CourseCareers, they're offering our audience a discount of $50 off that already low price. So make sure you use our discount link that we have below, so that way you can take advantage of that $50 off that already low price. Do CourseCareers at your own pace and let us know what job you end up getting from it.
I'm not even going to lie to you. I don't even know what that is.
Bro, that's totally cool because I know a little bit about what it is. I'm not in Web3, so I'm not really a part of the Web3 world, so I don't know a crap ton about it. I know more than most people, but that's not crazy that you don't know what it is. You're going to be hearing about it a lot more, though, as time goes on. So Web3, or it's also called Web 3.0, is where tech and technology and software and internet is transitioning to now. So we all know the internet is called the website. Back in the 90s, when the internet was first a thing with like our grandparents or our parents, that was like Web 1.0. Social media. So that was when the internet wasn't a social thing. It was just people would just go to websites to buy something, or a website to look something up, whatever. Web 2.0 is what we're all familiar with. Instagram is Web 2.0. TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, it's social. It's the website where we can all interact on this level. Web 3.0 is where we're all living in the web, like Meta, where you can go in the metaverse and we're all literally there, not literally there in person, but virtually we're around each other. We can hang out in a virtual office. We can walk around and travel, but it's like we're, you know, what's the name of that movie that came out a couple years ago? You know the movie where they would put the things on, they would be in a different like virtual world. It was a game. Ready Player One. Ready Player One.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Bro, you gotta see that. That show was crazy. It wasn't like some scary sci-fi. It was like fun because they had every video game just about was represented in it, because it was like a futuristic world where it was like basically what Meta wants to become. And it's like everybody would have a different avatar and they will be in another world. It's actually a pretty dope movie. Y'all put in the comments if y'all seen Ready Player One. Yeah, Ready Player One is fire. Like it's actually pretty dope. So that's what Web 3.0 is essentially. And there are a lot of tech companies, obviously Meta. And Meta isn't Facebook. Everyone thinks Facebook and Meta are the same thing. But Meta is actually Facebook's parent company. Meta owns Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp, and like other platforms as well. Anyway, that's essentially what Web 3.0 is. So that's what it is. My personal thoughts on, did this just kick me out? My personal thoughts on Web 3.0, I think this joint just kicked me out. That's actually crazy if it did. That's actually really stupid. That's wild. It literally just kicked me out. All right, cool. Anyway, I don't know what's going on my Wi-Fi right now. So my thoughts on Web 3.0 is that it's faith, like it's gonna happen. It's gonna come. Facebook, I think Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg predicted the timing wrong. He thought everybody wanted to be in the metaverse right now, and people were like, "Nah, bro, we ain't like fully ready for that yet." Yeah. And also, the metaverse looks corny right now. It's like they have to like update it and make the quality look better. Like that. I don't know if you've ever seen any clips of people in the metaverse where they look like the old school Sims avatars. It's like, bro, that junk looks trash. Yeah. So, yeah, they're probably like another 5 to 10 years away before people will actually want to rock with it for real, for real. But I think it'll be a thing. What do you think? Do you think eventually, if everybody can have an avatar where they could look like their best self, they could be their most attractive self, their most fit self, and they could live in a world that's almost like Grand Theft Auto. Like they can actually walk around in the world like Grand Theft Auto. Do you think most people would prefer to do that, or do you think most people prefer to kind of chill in the real world and just be on social media?
Well, I think normal people like me wouldn't be into that. I'm just to me that's weird. To me that's weird. So I don't know. I'm not really into like the whole metaverse thing. Like I'd rather just have like, like do VR gaming and stuff, but like actually like interacting, hanging out. To me that's just weird. I'd rather be in person. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I don't think that's like crazy that you would even answer that or speak on that way. Yeah. So I don't know what the crap is. I could probably. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi right now. I can't even pull up these questions that people asked. Let me try to go back, maybe. Because if I can't get to it, then we might just have to. All right, bet. My bad for everybody that asked, that already submitted your questions. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi right now. But I don't know. So we're just going to answer questions. We'll answer some of the questions that come in the chat. So, bro, we're going to try to not be on here past, not too much past, 9:30. I want to be mindful of your time. And also, I have a flight to Turks and Caicos in the morning. So, I got to...
Ooh, that's nice.
I got to get some sleep, too.
Super
cool. All right, so we can hop into comments, and we could probably leapfrog. So somebody say, you know what we want, Cyrus? What y'all talking about? I don't know what y'all talking about. What you mean what y'all want? Y'all must want some Jesus or something. I don't know what y'all talking about. Hey, what's going on? Y'all, shout out to TT Marie, who's on here. She is actually, she's been a tech recruiter for 1 or 2 different tech companies, and she's been working in general. She's worked at Meta, she's worked at Amazon, and she now currently works at Twitch. So she was recently a guest on the podcast. Her episode is going to be out sometime the next few weeks. And she has a wealth of knowledge, and she has an entire community of women that are in tech and women that are working to get in tech. So y'all definitely tap in with her. All right, so we got the questions in here that you saw, bro? Okay, so all right. So this is this question is kind of answered in my FAQs and in other interviews, but I'll let the homie answer it. So someone asked, when you're in sales tech or tech sales, are you actually selling per se?
Nah, well, my position's as a SDR. I'm not actually selling necessarily. Like, I still like pitch my product, but it's more of to see, are they a good fit, and basically convincing them to get a meeting with my account executive. So I'm not trying to sell somebody. Like, it's not like I'm going down the street like, hey, buy my product. I'm only reaching out to people that could really benefit from our product, and I just try to show them the value. And then, I was like, oh, you're interested? Let me set you up on a meeting. So I don't really do any selling. So,
yeah, because you get paid. Because I actually learned this recently when I've been interviewing different people that are I'm actually gonna button my shirt up because I'm starting to feel like my chest is out a little too much. Even though I've been on here for an hour, I'm just now feeling modest. I'm like, hold on, let me get modest all of a sudden. All right, super random. But anyway, so I just learned recently, y'all clearly see we ain't got no script, we just talking. But I learned recently, probably like a month ago, that SDR or BDR, that like y'all get paid, like you're not paid, like you get your base pay. That's something we didn't talk about. That like the base pay is pretty high in relation to the commission. So even if you're not getting your commission, especially early on, you're still gonna get the bulk of your income. But something that I just recently learned, that touches on what you just said, is that as an SDR, you get paid whether or not they even buy the product. You get paid as long as you set them up on another call and they show up for the call. You get like an extra commission on top of that, right?
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah. I literally just learned that recently, and I was like, yo, that's actually crazy. So yeah, to his point, he doesn't have to sell anything. He shares his product with a prospect that he believes and his company believes is a good fit, that they actually need their product. So it's not like a random company. It's like a company that his company in some type of way has kind of vetted to be like, yo, we actually think you're a good fit for what our company offers. And so even though people call it cold calling, cold emailing, it's really more of a warm call or warm email, because cold calling is when you're reaching out to someone that you don't even know is actually in the market for what it is you have. But when it's a warm lead, it's when you know that the person is actually in the market or that they're a good fit for what it is that you have. And yeah, like he said, he gets paid either way, but he gets like that bonus or commission just if they show up on another call, whether or not they buy the product. And I think that's super dope. Super, super dope.
Yeah.
All right, so what else we got? Did you see other questions?
Well, what are the metrics you must hit to reach your with the metrics, it depends. It changes from company to company, but at my company, quota is like about, I think it's 20 meetings per month. So yeah.
Roughly how many calls or emails do you do more emailing or calling? I've met some people who are SDR where they're like, I can choose, I can do calling or I can do emailing, but like how many do you have to do a day?
I'll say I do more calls a day than try to do upwards of 50 a day.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And out of 50 a day, 30 days in a month, and about 50 calls, you mean you talk to 50 people or you just ring out 50 times?
Well, from day to day, it kind of depends, but I would say, yeah, more of ringing, 50 to 60 calls, and usually that could lead to like talking to 30-ish people, or maybe, yeah, somewhere around maybe 20. Yeah.
That's pretty easy. I mean, dudes out here be calling, be DMing girls, be DMing 50 girls a day.
Yeah,
And so shoot, hey, look, for any of the fellas that's here, and you be DMing all the IG baddies, you be DMing 100 IG baddies a day.
hey man, you know good, man. You know good, man.
Nah. Hey, look, tech sales might be a good fit for you. No, I'm talking crazy right now. So look, no, that's fire though. So no, that's dope. That really doesn't sound crazy at all. Yeah. So again, I'm a sales engineer, so I know more about account executives because I work like side by side with account exec, or I used to. I'm no longer a sales engineer. I transitioned to I'm a chief marketing officer of a tech startup now. And so y'all laughing in the comments. Y'all know this ain't coffee in my cup, so forgive me. Super dope. All right, let's get back to the question. Let's keep it professional. I'm talking about myself, not you. You professional. I'm talking about myself. You good, bro? Bro, like I did not sign up for this.
Nah, you good, man.
All right. So, okay, I guess we both can answer this question. Someone said, "What do you think about cybersecurity specifically? What do you know about cybersecurity? What are your thoughts on it?"
Well, I just know that I hope I'm not wrong, but it's just like the people that kind of protect like against viruses, or kind of just make sure that all the computer systems are safe. So I think that's a great career field. I actually considered it. So, I think it's a great way to go.
Yeah, bro. One of the things you're gonna notice, if you haven't already, and maybe you already have people hitting you up about tech, or getting into tech, one of the things you're gonna notice is that most people assume because you're in tech, you know almost everything about every field in tech.
Yeah.
But y'all, quick disclaimer, when someone's working in tech, 9 times out of 10, they only know their job and maybe the other jobs that are directly related to theirs. Like he knows about account executives because he works in tandem with account executives. So there's a couple roles he knows about, but it's like he doesn't. Usually, most people don't know every type of role in tech. I don't even know every role, but I try to learn as much as I can about most roles to basically help people. But y'all, yeah, cybersecurity is a great role in tech. I actually, on the podcast, I interviewed 2 people that are in cybersecurity. Those episodes, I keep saying those episodes are about to come out. For those of y'all who don't know, I interviewed like 8 guests in the same day, and then we drop all the episodes in the future. So stay tuned. We have 2 different cybersecurity guests that are going to be coming out soon. But yes, cybersecurity is one of the most in-demand roles in tech, and it pays some of the best as well. And cybersecurity is almost like recession-proof. It's a really great field in tech. All right, bro, you're buffering. He's buffering right now. Can y'all tell that he's buffering, or is it just on my end? Yeah, he's frozen. All right, so I'll answer some of the other questions until I guess he gets unfrozen. Yeah, cybersecurity is dope. It's really dope. I actually, a cybersecurity bootcamp reached out to me today to basically to see if I want to mention them, and they offer a discount. Like basically, y'all know the same thing I always do. Find a boot camp that's a good boot camp, solid boot camp. If I think they're solid, I'll mention them and help y'all get some type of discount into the program. But I have to kind of vet them out first before I say their name or I'll promote them. But anyway, I'll continue answering questions until he's no longer buffering. What's the next question? All right, y'all. Y'all look into it. I'll definitely look into it. All right, y'all can keep sending in questions, and I'll try to answer all that I can. All right, look like he got kicked out, so I'll wait for him to resubmit his request. Okay, yeah, he's about to come back on.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, yeah, it's
You
logged
back
me.
on
I
here.
don't know what
We
happened.
got you.
But yeah.
Instagram be on its own thing. Wi-Fi be on its own thing. It be on its own thing. Super cool though. We got you back. So let's hop back into some of these questions. We'll do like 3 more questions and I'll let you go. All right, so his question, someone asked a question. They said, how replaceable is your job in tech? Is it recession proof? How do you feel?
I do feel like it is recession proof because, tech is only getting bigger by the day. And then there's just millions of opportunities. So even if you do get laid off, like there's tons of other companies looking for your skill set. So I really don't see even if you lose the job, I don't really see you can't lose the career. Like this is a career that I feel like you're pretty set.
Bro,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you spitting right now. No, I agree with him 100%. Like this is you don't ever, job security doesn't exist, but in this industry you do have career security, especially in a field like his where he's tech sales. A company cannot exist if it doesn't have tech sales people. No company, a company's not gonna do a mass layoff of their tech sales people. If they do a mass layoff of tech sales people, that means that there's a problem with their product and nobody wants their product. That's really what that is. So, because a company can't sell a product without tech sales people. That's like, imagine if y'all have a business and you hire people to sell your product, to sell, market, promote your product. If you have to lay off most of the people, there's only 2 reasons you're gonna lay people off or fire people. It's either 1, because they're completely lazy and not even trying to do their job, or 2, you have a trash product and nobody wants it, and you're thinking, for whatever reason, I need to let these people go. But again, that's not logical. No one lays off their salespeople unless their business is going under bad, really bad. Because again, you can't sell your product and actually make money without your tech salespeople. So that's why tech sales is one of the most in-demand jobs in tech, and it is one of the most recession-proof jobs in tech. It's not recession-proof. There's no such thing as recession-proof, but it's one of the most recession-proof jobs in tech. And cybersecurity is one of those jobs in tech that's very similar. Sales engineering is almost on that level, but it's not even on the level of tech sales. Just being straight up. Somebody said Cyrus' phone is heading to Turks. Yo, I actually, bro, when I thought you weren't gonna show up, I was gonna cancel the live and I was gonna do it tomorrow while I was gonna be in Turks. Turks and Caicos.
Man, living the dream.
Hey, bro, you're right behind me, dude. Bro, you're right behind me. Especially with your unlimited PTO.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, bro, that's gonna be good, dude. Super good. All right, so let's hop back into a couple more questions and we're gonna let y'all go. Yeah, I wish this was wine in my cup. It's some that was such a drunk person thing to do. It's some 1800 in my cup right now. But in the words of Lil Wayne, don't worry about what's in my cup. It's my cup. All right. So So somebody said the fans watching. What the fans watching? The fans watching us work remote in tech. Ain't nothing to see here. What is that question? Someone said, can you ask for pat rates based on the location of your company for SDR roles, or is it only for other positions? Do you know what a pat rate is? I've never heard of that.
Nah, I don't know.
I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, yo, please DM me, like, remind me of this pat rate question. I would love to look it up and see what it is. Also, someone mentioned learning Linux. I've heard of that before, but I haven't actually looked into that. So please DM me that so I can look into that. So that way, next time somebody asks me, I'll know the answer. Starting salary, at least ballpark. So not necessarily your salary. You don't have to share that, but ballpark range of, let's say ballpark range of what you, I know it only took you a week to get a job, so maybe you didn't talk to 50,000 companies, but ballpark range of some of the offers that you saw for like an SDR role.
The ballpark range, I would say the lowest was 40K, and the highest was, what was the high? It's like, I'll say from 40 to 65K.
I had there was a dude, one of my guests who was on here 3 weeks ago. I'm probably gonna link y'all up, whether or not y'all actually will end up collabing or just becoming bros in the industry, because he recently got in too, and like I said, y'all are like the same age. He actually got an offer, or not an offer, he accepted an offer for, and you know what, I will connect y'all, because you might wanna be like, let me check his company out, because he started at 120,000 or 125,000, and it's for an SDR role, but he does live in the West Coast. He lives in Cali. So that sometimes, for those who don't know, where you live can sometimes depend on what your company, it can determine what your company is looking to pay you, but you can usually negotiate. So if you have a company and you realize, hey, West Coast, y'all offering people for the same job 125,000, just because I live over here, y'all trying to offer me 80,000. Nah, bro, y'all better. And that's something that actually, I think tech recruiters mentioned that you should do, is to negotiate that. That you're like, hey, if I'm doing the same job as them and I'm bringing y'all the same revenue, I want to get the same salary. So I usually encourage people for an SDR, BDR role. I usually encourage people to not accept anything under an OTE of 65,000. If anybody doesn't know what OTE is, check out the FAQs in my bio. We're not about to sit here and explain it to you respectfully. But usually, like, if somebody gets something that's at least 85,000, and I'm like, yo, you better take that jump, because SDR role, that's a really, really high salary. But yeah, most I saw when I was out there, because of course I mainly was applying. I was only applying for an interview for sales engineering roles. I had a lot of companies reaching out to me for tech sales roles, and most of the ones I saw some that were like 40,000, and I was like, what? But most of the ones I saw were most of them leaned on like 65, 70,000. And the most I saw on average was like 85,000. But every now and again, you'll see some that are really high. They're like $100,000 and more for an SDR role. But account executive, which also that's the role he's going to get promoted to in several months. That role on average for an entry-level account executive, because there's different levels to account executive, that's anywhere between, they usually get anywhere between, on a really, really low end, 85,000, on a higher end, and again, we're speaking about entry level, on a higher end, about like $130,000. But it can go up. I know account executives, somebody said what I'm going to say, 100,000. That's funny. I know account executives that make over $500,000 a year. I have somebody on my podcast, a young woman. She's only been in tech for 2.5 years. Last year, she made about $250,000 last year. And this year, her goal is making $500,000. She's trying to do $500,000 this year. So she'll be in tech at that point for a little over, or about 3 years, a little over 3 years. So y'all, you know, but yeah, I know a couple people in tech sales that are millionaires just from their job, but they're enterprise. They're like senior level. They've been in the industry for like 7 years or something, which isn't that long, but it's like they've been in the industry. And that's what I was talking about with you, where it's like, bruh, you're gonna be making so much money. It's gonna be stupid. It's gonna be stupid. Like how much, bro, you literally will be able to be in the top 1% from working a 9 to 5. And that's crazy. The fact that you ain't gonna have to worry about paying out no insurance to employees, you're not gonna have to worry about, you know, paying your own dental plan because your company's gonna cover it, paying your own health insurance, your own vision, you know, things that don't matter that much. But like as you get older, especially when you get like around my age and maybe a few years older, you'll start caring about that stuff a lot. Like you'll be like, yo. And so that's what makes it so crazy, bro. It's so crazy that you're in this industry. It's crazy in general. People get in this industry, but bro, you're getting in at your age, bro. It's gonna be stupid, bro. It's actually gonna be really crazy, bro. So I'm so hyped for you, dude. Bro, I'm so hyped for you. Bro, it's such a beautiful time to be alive, and people don't really realize that. It's such a good time. Someone asked about saving this live. Yes, this live will be up for at least 24 hours. I'll make sure he has access to the live. I hired a couple of VAs recently. One of them is going to take this live down in a day or two, and he's going to edit it and then upload it to YouTube. And in a week, all the lives will be private to like the Patreon community after 24 hours. That's just kind of a heads up to y'all. But right now, the lives will be up publicly on YouTube and stuff like that. He'll have access to it too, as the guest who came on. So, all right, bro, I've been talking a lot. I want to blame it on this drink, but I talk a lot in general. So let's do this. I'll let you can handle the next couple questions you see. You can call them out, whatever it is you see. So y'all go ahead and drop your questions. Whatever it is you see that you want to answer or you want to touch on, bro, I definitely want to give you the floor for that.
Let me see. I haven't even been looking. Hold on. So that's simple. Interview.
So cut me off as soon as you're ready to. As soon as you see an answer, but just to fill up the dead air for everybody. So yeah, just a few different things. So, because I usually do this introduction when I come on the live, but I forgot to do it. I did a sales engineering boot camp. It was a 4-week boot camp. I'm refraining from mentioning their name right now, not because they're not a decent boot camp, but because I have announced that I was gonna like take a break from promoting them because so many people have been signing up to them. They're trying to restructure how many people they allow to come into their boot camp and how many people they have per class. So I'm at least giving them until February before I start start back promoting them hard, because I don't want too many people to do that boot camp at one time, specifically their sales engineering program. So I'm just trying to be mindful of not promoting them. But I did a sales engineering boot camp. At the time it was 4 weeks. Now it's 8 to 10 weeks. It cost me $3,500. I didn't know anyone who did the boot camp at the time. I didn't even know a person who did a tech boot camp. I just did one and started telling people about it because I was like, yo, this is a hack. And I don't see anyone talking about it. So I got into the industry. My first job put me at $90,000 OTE and basically $90,000 overall salary, plus benefits and perks and a bunch of other stuff. I stayed there for 6 months, 6 to 7 months. I left for another company that paid me $157,000. It was $145,000 OTE plus a $12,000 sign-on bonus. I only stayed there for about 2 months because I got another offer for a company I like better for $175,000 base, $230,000 OTE, and I recently transitioned over to accepting a chief marketing officer role. So now I'm a C-suite executive. I'm like the high up. I sit at the table with the CEO and the chief operational officer, all the C-suite people. I sit in meetings with them and pretend like I know what I'm talking about. But aside from that, I talk to people about getting in tech. I tell them about bootcamps, tech events, LinkedIn, GitHub, Glassdoor, different means to research and to learn about this industry and to learn like opportunities in this industry to break into tech. So that way other people can make money too, because it ain't fun unless the homie get something. Like, you know, corny joke, but straight up, it's dope to make money. But I don't understand how people flex and aren't trying to help other people. Like, because I like flexing. I love flexing. Flexing is fun. It's super dope. But if you're just flexing and you're not trying to actually help people, in my head, it's like something is wrong in your heart. The fact that you just want to flex and look at people, like make people feel beneath you, versus flexing to inspire people, flexing to let people know, yo, you can have this stuff too and even more, without robbing, without selling drugs, without playing sports. You know, without having to go to school for 8 to 12 years to be a doctor and being $200,000 of student loan debt, without going to school for crazy loans to be a lawyer, because newsflash, he's going to make more money than 95% of doctors are going to make. I make more money than 95% of doctors make. And it's like, and that's not to be braggadocious, that's just to say that everything has changed. You don't have to do 8 to 12 years of school and be in $250,000 in debt to make $500,000 plus a year from a 9 to 5 where you're working remote. Yeah, it won't work out for everybody, but it's like he said in his story before, if you're a person who works hard, you know, whether you do a boot camp or you have real transferable skills or you go to college and you put in that work, it's like there's no reason why anyone can't be here that does those pieces that I just mentioned, that does the pieces that he did. So for anybody who's just hopping on, you know, he shared his story earlier. You know, he did one of the tech boot camps that I recommend, specifically the one that I have pinned down below. And yeah, 4 or 5 weeks later, he was done. And then a week after that, he got a job offer. And now he's on track to be at 6 figures, you know, within like the next year or so. And so he's 20 years old now. Yeah, so it's crazy. It's like, bro, when I was, my first time even hearing about someone making 6 figures, I was 19 or 20, but before someone even told me someone making $100,000. Now, you know, you hear about millionaires, but millionaires sound so far-fetched. It's like you almost are kind of out of millionaires. Bruh, I remember when someone said, yeah, I only date dudes that make $100,000. A homegirl of mine said that. And I was like, what? And bro, it's crazy that you're literally about to be there when I was at an age where it was my first time hearing about it. That just sounded foreign to me. Right? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So I've been yapping, trying to fill up the time and the space, bro. Have you seen any questions that you're like, you want to address?
I tried answering some like just by commenting,
Yeah,
but
oh, I didn't even realize that. So if you could like maybe 1 or 2 questions you saw, if you could like pull your head back and like answer them. And the reason why I asked you to pull your head back is because we're gonna take this and gonna repost it on YouTube. My virtual assistant, he's gonna cut it to make it like horizontal, like YouTube, like landscape. So we don't want people on YouTube to just look at your forehead when it's like posted. So yeah. So yeah, the questions you answered in the comments, I guess if you can kind of answer those.
I see a question that talks about like the ramp up. What does that mean exactly? Do you know?
So ramp up is it could talk about 1 or 2 things. Ramp up is either in reference to you starting at the company and what's your ramp up in terms of your training before you actually hit the field, which sounds weird to say because you work remote, but before you hit the field, or or ramp up is in reference to you ramping up in the company, like you ramping up your salary, you ramping up your getting promoted, stuff like that. Which he addressed the first part earlier on, but if you want to address it again.
So yeah, the ramp up was basically 2 weeks. Basically 2 weeks of just kind of just learning all about the company and what the day to day was expected of you. And then like for the first, like it was honestly for the first 2 months, it was kind of just, you know, it wasn't expecting too much of you. Like just, you know, it was more like trial and error, like make these calls, let's give you coaching, let's see how you do. So that's how it went. And then now it's kind of like, all right, now you know the knowledge, you know, ask for help when you need it. But yeah, just that's kind of how it was. And then the ramp up, like for like going up in a company, like 6 months, then you get like a pay bump, and then like a year, you know, account executive if like you're meeting like your requirements. And then
thanks for that breakdown, bro.
Let me see. Interview tips. So interview tips, I'm not sure if did I answer that or so some
interview tips. No, we didn't talk about interview tips.
Okay, so some interview tips I would say is make sure that it's actually a conversation. So don't just let them ask you like about yourself. Like try to get to know them. You want to make sure that you like your manager. Your manager is a good person. You want to make sure to ask questions about the company. Like, don't just think it's an interview for you. You're also trying to interview them. And then if you're asking questions, that's going to impress them and like let them know that like, oh, he actually cares. He's not just trying to get the job. And then you just want to make sure you're cool and relaxed. Like, don't be stiff. Like, just trying to make sure you get every answer correct. Like, don't think like it's like a test. It's more of just, do you know the knowledge, and can you like showcase your personality and be confident, even like, because they want an interview is like pretty stressful. See, people get they expect people to get nervous, but they could see that like you could be cool and collected. Like, that's gonna make you stand out. And yeah, that's basically all I would say. Just and also just know what you're like, actually know the knowledge. Like, don't go into it not knowing, and then study up on the company as well. Like, don't just go in there like not knowing anything about the company.
Yeah. And that's really good. So I can say as a chief marketing officer now, or a CMO, I've been interviewing people, and I've been interviewing people for the company that I'm a CMO of, people that are in, that I've been hiring on to do some marketing for the company that I'm a partner of now. And for my business, I've been interviewing people. Like I mentioned, I just hired 2 people this week for my business. I can tell y'all that whenever, like, just like he said, when people are interviewing you, one of the ways to stand out, like if you don't want to get a job, don't ask questions. You might think just you answering questions the right way is what'll get you the job. It's just as valuable, maybe even more valuable, when you ask questions and you ask like valid questions that are good. Because even the people I've hired for my business and the people that I've hired to work with me in the marketing department at the company that I'm with, the people that I chose were the people, honestly, the people that asked the best questions. It wasn't even the people who answered the best questions. The people that answer a question really good, you'll still forget them. It's the people who ask questions. Every person that I interviewed, even if they did a great job answering questions, when I asked them, what questions do you have for me? Nothing. Okay, cool. At some other point, what questions do you have about the company? Nothing. Okay, and then when the interview is about to be over, all right, before we get off, any other questions you have about me or about the company or anything that I didn't answer? Nope, nothing at all. I forgot about those people. Never, like, almost didn't think about them again, except for having to send out the email saying, hey, unfortunately, we decided to go with another candidate. So just like he said, it's like, imagine you being on a date with someone and you ask them questions on the date. They answer the questions, but then they never ask you a question back. Or you're on the phone with someone trying to get to know them. You're asking them questions. They answer the question. And all of us know, we all thinking like, bro, you're not going to ask me nothing. You're not trying to get to know me. You're not trying to get to know, like, what I got going on. This is just all about you and you answering questions about you and what you want. Interviewers, recruiters, companies, it's the same thing. It's almost like you're dating someone. You're getting to know them to see, not dating, but it's like you're getting to know them to see, yo, would we be a good fit for a relationship? Whether or not this is going to be long-term marriage or this is going to be, a year, 6 months, a year and a half, something like that. Because, yo, those companies got 100 other people lined up. The same way, the same way any IG baddie or your boy who's in tech right now got 100 other people lined up. No, I'm playing. I'm stopping. But he's like, no, not 100, not 100. No, I'm joking. I'm playing. But it's like, make sure that you're asking valid questions that shows them that, man, you've really given some thought into this. So that's super important.
So someone asks about transferable skills. You don't have to have prior sales experience, but I would say you want to be someone that can communicate well. So like, if you're someone that, like, your vocabulary, it doesn't have to be like this extravagant vocabulary, but you have to be able to be well spoken, and you have to be able to be confident. You have to be able to be comfortable with rejection. You have to be like, if it hurts you too much to have like mean people or you retaliate, like, it's too hard for you. Like, you have to be able to remain composed, and like, someone like is super mean to you for no reason, like, be like, oh yeah, let me just make the next call, like, not even thinking twice about it. You have to be competitive, because trying to hit your quota, that's something that can be hard sometimes, especially every single month. So being driven to like set a meeting, like, I'm going to set a meeting today, or I'm going to do this, like, being driven, and also time management. You want to make sure that you block out distractions, and then you're like fully locked in on like making calls, sending emails, following up, like prospecting, etc. So yeah, I would just say those things. It's nothing like super difficult, but you want to make sure that this actually fits, this actually fits who you are. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah, he mentioned how you don't need transferable skills. That is usually for someone, if you do a tech boot camp. So like, let's say you're someone where you have a pretty thorough sales background. You're like, yo, I've done a lot of sales stuff. Those are for tech sales. That's transferable skills. That wouldn't matter much for sales engineering. I mean, it matters, but not as much. But for that being said, if you have a lot of sales background, you can use that, but that's more valid for maybe tech networking events. Because just because you have a thorough sales background, that doesn't set up your LinkedIn to be properly optimized, and that doesn't fix up your resume, and that doesn't show you have any tech type of stuff. So make sure that even though you have a sales background, that you know how to communicate it in a way. So what I'm about to do, I mentioned earlier that I'm about to relaunch my Patreon. For those who actually sign up this week, the Patreon is going to relaunch actually next week. And when it actually launches, the prices are going to go up. I have the Patreon available right now. If anybody wants to sign up next week, all the prices are going to go up because the prices of the Patreon are set from how it was this time last year. But in the Patreon, I'm going to bring in tech recruiters who are going to give everybody interviewing tips. They're going to do like interview, like training type of stuff. And I'm going to bring on people that do resume writing, and they're going to look over resumes as example and tell everybody how to fix up their resume. And we're going to do stuff with everybody's LinkedIn. So that's something that we're going to work on to launch, or not launch, but something we're going to start doing pretty soon. So for anyone that maybe you don't want to do a boot camp and you're like, yo, I feel like I went to college, I did this, I did that. I don't want to have to do a boot camp. You know, even again, the boot camp he did, CourseCareers, is so affordable. I low-key am like shocked whenever people are like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, yo, with a discount, that junk is $450. Like, you're tripping. But for people who don't want to, who are really like, yo, I don't want to do it, I respect it. Everybody has their reasons. I'm going to do that on my Patreon, where I'm going to pay recruiters, hiring managers. I'm going to pay people to come on and to give y'all like the real like hardcore nuggets and stuff like that. Or basically those who are in the Patreon community will be paying for them to come on. But instead of y'all having to pay them $300, $400, it'll be like whatever type of tier you choose, and they'll come on and kind of give y'all tips. So for anybody who doesn't know how to use transferable skills, they'll come on and help with that. Or if you've done a boot camp and you're a person where maybe you're struggling, you know, you did a boot camp 2 months, 3 months, 4 months ago, and you're like, yo, why don't I have a job yet? It took him a week. It took the last person you brought on, you know, a month. It took the person before that 2 months, to the person before that. Bro, it's been people that have done CourseCareers that they got jobs before they finished CourseCareers.
Yes,
like straight up.
Different.
And so, but again, like I said, that's not everybody's story. So that's why I'm gonna build that out, because the whole goal is to help people get into this industry, who want to be in this industry, like straight up. Anyway, bro, we've been on here a long time. I've been ranting a lot, especially because of the what's in my cup. Bro, I guess what do you want to leave the people?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to add another thing with like the transferable skills. Like, even if you don't have any sales experience, like, you still want to pull things from your previous jobs. Like, I worked at Discount Tire, Walmart, and then like door-to-door canvassing. But from each of those jobs, even though it has none to do with sales, I pulled something that would be able to benefit me in sales. So when people, like, an interview asks me like, oh, give me an example of this, or like, what's your experience? Like, I try to tailor my non-sales experience that I can gain. I've gained things that would help me in sales. So you don't have to think like, oh, you don't have to think like, oh, they're not going to hire me, I don't have no sales. Like, you can transfer those skills in a way, like, you put that on your resume, your LinkedIn, word it in a way that's like, I just wanted to add that.
Nah, bro, that's really good to mention. Thank you for sharing that. All right, bro. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up, bro. Appreciate you so much for coming on. Again, this was for you, it was very last minute, and it lasted. We were on here way longer than than I said we were gonna be on here. So thank you, bro, for hanging out longer, for sharing your story, all that good stuff. Y'all definitely tap in with him. Be respectful if y'all are reaching out to him and it takes him a couple of days to respond. You know, understand he working, he doing stuff, all of that. But definitely tap in with him. And yeah, bro, like I said before, man, reach out to me if you're like, hey, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, whatever. Like, bro, reach out to me, bro. Whatever I know, whatever I have, I definitely
will do. And I appreciate you a lot, man. You're doing the Lord's work.
Hey, man, bro, trying to, man. God bless me. So I'm trying to spread the love, dude.
All right.
All right, y'all be blessed. Everybody have a good night.